the heart of UNLV success. He scores goals. He's very active. He's very courageous. He's a player that you just really can't let go for a moment. The difference with Danny compared to a lot of strikers is that he's extremely mobile. He doesn't stand and get post up and marked up. He's always using his athleticism, speed, his quickness to get around people. So we just have to keep an eye on him all the time.
Well, good luck tonight, and hopefully you'll have a return trip to Las Vegas next week.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, head coach Shella Simon, our guest. Stay with us. More of the Lopes pregame show continues. It's senior night here at GCU Soccer Stadium. One of the 6 seniors is local product Nicky Jackson of Cave Creek, who will leave GCU as the top scorer in school Division I history. I had a chance to talk with the Lopes goal scoring machine this week about his time here on campus. One-on-one with Nicky Jackson when we come back.
Or online at GCU TV. We will be there. Will you be there for the big game on Sunday? Yeah, women's. And you're here tonight. Volleyball game on Thursday. Are you there? So basically, you work as hard as me, you're trying to say, huh? Oh, you think you work harder than me? I don't know about that. Do you think the team's going to win tonight? Yeah. What's the score going to be? 1-0. All right. Can you guarantee this? All right, we're talking tournament eligible now. Do you feel the excitement here on campus? I would say so. This is one of the best interviews I've ever done, I must say. All right, well, you know what? I've got some work to do, all right? You go hype up this crowd. Thank you very much for stopping by. That's one of the best interviews I've ever done, let me tell you. Anyhow, there is one player you probably doesn't really need an introduction if you are a GCU soccer fan. However, we believe he is worthy of one. We are talking about senior Nicky Jackson, who will go down as one of the best to ever suit up in a GCU uniform. That's right, he has really helped the team as they have transformed into this powerhouse they are hoping in Division I action. And our very own Barry Boutel sat down with the WAC's second leading goal scorer.
Barry Boutel alongside Nicky Jackson, and for Nicky, this is you've got to have mixed emotions, right? This is 4 years at GCU, your final regular season game here on your home turf against UNLV. What's going through your mind, and can you race back through these 4 years pretty quickly?
It's crazy coming here as a freshman. Didn't know what to expect with a different coach. Just seeing the transition throughout the school and the soccer program, getting this brand new stadium, the fans, the Havocs, it's crazy. I mean, it's the best 4 years I've been able to have here, so it's awesome.
With all these teams making this transition to D1, you guys have really set the foundation. As you're approaching the end of your GCU career, how do you feel about the program?
I think I made my mark here. I'm proud of what I've done. I think we've us seniors have established a culture within the team. We said it this summer coming in. We all came in early. Came in May, stayed all summer working hard. So kind of hopefully we can carry that on past the years of me and the juniors. That hard work and the dedication that we put in this program is going to get us the wins.
It's fantastic. You went to high school at Cactus Shadows, won a state championship with a club team here in the Valley. Could you also talk about just the level of quality players that are being developed right here in our own backyard?
It's amazing. I've played at all levels of soccer here, the recreational level, club soccer with Serena, win a state championship, playing at Cactus Shadows in Cave Creek, then going off to RSL and Casa Grande. I mean, I've seen it all, and the players here are amazing. Getting players like Josh Drack, Musa, Jackson, Damian, the talent right here in Phoenix area is amazing.
You're taking on a Rebels team that sits currently at number 3 overall, a pretty red-hot team led by a pretty offensive threat up front, Musovski. Can you talk about the Rebels team you're facing tonight?
Musovski, he's a great player. Love playing against him. We were actually talking a few weeks ago about who's going to be scoring more goals this year. But he's a great player, a great team. We always have a good game against him. So I'm super excited playing them, coming off a big win against Utah. It brings us that momentum going into Saturday night.
It seemed like the last game against Utah Valley, the atmosphere at the stadium, as it has been all season long with the support from the fans, and your record dictates that you love home field advantage. Can you talk about the atmosphere at the new stadium?
It's amazing. We have the best fans in the country coming out to every game. It gives us such an advantage against all the away teams coming into our stadium, and it really helps us a lot. We're 6-1-1, I think, at home, and one more game to go at home, and I'm excited to play.
Nicky Jackson, 16 games this season with 9 goals, 3 assists, totaling 21 points, 41 shots, and really he's just following up what he's been doing here all and throughout his career as a Lope. 18 games last year, 16 goals. That was 3rd in the country. Bringing him right now his career, 64 games, 38 goals, 9 assists, 85 points overall. So we wish him the best of luck tonight as he plays in his final home game. And just behind me, Nicky and the 5 other seniors being introduced along with their families. Very special night here at GCU Stadium as these seniors will play in their final home game with family and friends standing by to watch it all. And we will have all the action coming your way right here on Your View. And when we get back, he is at every GCU sporting event here on campus. It's not an easy feat, but Paul Cook has it down. We'll explain how he does it with his band intact right after this. You're watching the Lopes Pregame.
GCU is the university that never sleeps, moving at the speed of light, so we can give our students the competitive edge they need to succeed. And now, GCU is leading in the areas of computer science and IT. We prepare students to meet the demands of the fastest growing industry through our innovative IT programs in our College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. Using the latest real-world tools and an adaptive curriculum, GCU gives students the education they need today to excel in their careers tomorrow. Join the most inventive concept in education right now and position yourself for a future in the expanding world of IT. GCU offers fast-track options with courses in cybersecurity, cloud computing, systems architecture, and business analytics. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/IT.
Welcome back to the Lopes Pregame Show, where we are bringing you all the action from GCU Stadium tonight as the Lopes play in their final regular season home game. And they are going up against the Rebels of UNLV, in charge of their own destiny here on Your View Channel 4 Cox Cable. If they get a win or a draw tonight, they are WAC tournament bound. All exciting things happening out on the field, and as we count you down to kickoff, I'm Kate Longworth, and I'm joined now by the man behind the band you hear at every event you attend to at a sporting event here at GCU. This is Paul Cook, and the Thundering Herd. I mean, you guys, first of all, you can hear you everywhere, which is exciting. You really bring an element to every athletic game. But how do you get to all these athletic events, and are you truly at every single one?
No, I'm not at every single one. Thank goodness. I've got a great assistant with me. Kevin Bach is our tuba professor here, but helps out tremendously with
So the
rehearsals.
band's everywhere. You just might not be everywhere?
Correct.
Okay.
We platoon them, divide them up, and so that everybody's not going to get too overworked, but we're happy to be wherever we're needed to be, performing well.
And it's such a dedicated group of students. How do you become a member of the Thundering Herd?
Well, if you're interested right now, the easiest way right now is to set up an audition with me. paul.koch@gcu.edu would probably be the easiest way to email me and set that up. But we have the students come in and we have them play a little bit of lyrical playing, a little bit of technical playing. We listen to them play some scales, that kind of thing. And then just also ask about their pep and their energy and what they want to bring to the table so that they come up to our level and perform to excite the fans.
And I think that's a big thing, and I think hopefully it shows through on your television screen when you're watching at home an event. You can feel the excitement when you're at GCU sporting events, but I don't know if people realize how much of that is student-led. Of course, there's over 3,000 Havocs, but they really work hand in hand with the Thundering Herd. How is it your goal each and every athletic event for the band on itself to bring that energy to the game?
We talk a lot about, people are going to come tired and they just want to be entertained, and you're going to leave entertained. And we take a lot of pride in getting people up off their seats and just enjoying life, being at a game. And it's incredibly entertaining. What Dan Marley and Coach Powell do with their teams is great. When they take the time out, we want to take over, keep that energy going, working hand in hand with the dance team, with the cheerleaders, with the Havocs, and even, just the event staff that night, and just making the entire thing just a huge atmosphere.
And the opposition has talked about it. We have seen opposing teams come in to the GCU arena or out here at the stadium, and they talk about how loud you guys are and how you can take them off their game. What pride do you and your students take in the fact that you have a hand in the outcome of the game, essentially?
Well, when Coach Pitino said that last year, that was a huge fist pump for us. We loved that, loved hearing him say that. But, the whole goal, in our opinion, is that when they call a timeout, they're trying to slow us down. And our job is to fight against that and go against that energy and keep our energy going. So we take very much pride in keeping that going.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. You are doing just that. We obviously want to encourage fans to head out to a GCU sporting event to see the action on the court or on the field. But I'll tell you what, it is something to see what's going on with these students in the stands, from the Thundering Herd to the Havocs. All right, well, more to come on the Lopes Pregame Show. When we come back, we'll look around the WAC to see exactly what the Lopes are up against. Should they win or draw tonight, they are tournament bound, and we'll let you know how the rest of their conference is doing.
Hey Phoenix, it's Thunder Dan Marley, head coach at Grand Canyon University. Coming to GCU was a great move for me. Join Antelope Nation by enrolling as an evening student at our beautiful campus in the heart of Phoenix. Earn your bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree to take your career to the next level. Engage with industry expert instructors in small classroom settings where you can get the support you need to excel. Scholarships available. See you on campus. Go Lopes.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu/evening. Grand Canyon University's newly remodeled golf course is thriving in the heart of Phoenix, featuring over 7,200 yards of expansive tees and tree-lined fairways, signature par 3s, greenside bunkers, premium greens, and a brand new clubhouse and restaurant. Experience a University Championship golf course this summer with great rates as low as $15 available now. Book your tee times at gcugolf.com.
Welcome back to Division I Men's Soccer on Your View, but we want to remind you our next telecast of GCU Men's Basketball will be Friday, November 10th, when the Florida A&M Rattlers visit the House of Havoc. The Lopes Pregame Show with me and, of course, Barry Patel and Scott Williams starts at 6:30 p.m. with tip-off shortly following at 7. You can tune in right here to Your View Cox Channel 4 or online at gcu.tv. Well, I am Kate Longworth, counting you down to kickoff here at GCU Stadium. And as we have said, a win or draw tonight, the Lopes are headed to the WAC tournament. So let's take a trip around the WAC to see how other teams have done tonight. At halftime, UTRGV at UIW. It's 0-0 at half. Air Force takes the win 2-1 over Kansas City in the final overtime. And it was CSU Bakersfield falling short at San Jose State tonight, 1-0 the final there. All right, kickoff is on the other side of this. Kobe Jones, Barry Patel, they've got you covered. Don't go anywhere. Men's Division I soccer right after this.
Earning your RN to BSN degree online doesn't have to be without the college experience. Finding your purpose takes support from those around you. GCU's leadership offers over 3 decades of experience delivering our accredited RN to BSN program 100% online. Graduate in as few as 16 months, learning from full-time practicing nurse faculty in small classes. Integrate your education with your faith and Christian worldview.
Find your purpose online at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Finding the right college isn't always simple. The choices I make today affect where I'll be tomorrow. That's why I chose Grand Canyon University. Here I'm working toward a greater purpose and a place that feels like home. With scholarships to help me earn my degree, I can graduate in less than 4 years. By attending GCU, Arizona's premier private Christian university, I know I'm not just making the right choice, I'm making the smart choice.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Live from the heart and soul of Phoenix, welcome to the campus of Grand Canyon University and at GCU Soccer Stadium, where tonight the Lopes close out the regular season against the UNLV Rebels. Hello and welcome to GCU Men's Soccer here on Your View. Barry Butel alongside Kobe Jones. Kate Longworth will be along in just a moment. Great regular season finale here at GCU Soccer Stadium as the Lopes are in postseason play with a win or a draw, but they'll be taking on a tough Rebels team here tonight.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, you can't worry about the possibilities and everything that's going on with other teams. Get the job done yourself, and then it's smooth sailing from then on.
Let's take a look at the Western Athletic Conference standings up to the minute. Air Force on top handily. Seattle University, UNLV right there at 6-3 overall. San Jose State in the 4th spot. GCU with a victory due to the tiebreaker would move up to that 4th spot. Those two teams would battle it out in the opening game of the tournament. UTRGV also there. Utah Valley. About 4 or 5 teams after that 3rd spot with UNLV. It is up for grabs as far as positioning.
Yeah, it's all about positioning, and for me, it's also about how you end the season. You want to go out in a good note, and if you can get a victory tonight, both teams are fighting for it, that gives you that little boost of confidence once you start for the tournament.
Well, we'll be keeping our eye on Nicky Jackson, no doubt, for the Lopes, but how about Damian Herman? He gets the golden goal in overtime against Utah Valley in a 3-2 victory.
And what can you say about this player? He's been called upon to come off the bench, and he's been that spark. He's been that player that can do something special, individual talent, but also setting up his teammates to come through and get the score. He's doing whatever it takes to allow his team to win.
Damian Herman just grew up about 3 blocks from the campus of Grand Canyon University. The junior, 5 goals, 11 points on 25 shots. Well, there's no question who to look at for UNLV. He's number 3. He's 3rd overall in the nation in scoring. His name is Danny Muzovsky.
Well, Muzovsky, he's a talent. He's the player that everything that is going to go through on this UNLV team, and the Lopes are going to have to try to find a way to shut him down. But his movement inside the box is what makes him so deadly. 1 second, he can flash, separate by 3 or 4 yards, and he can find the back of the net.
The Lopes have been dominating here on their home turf. If you look at the numbers for Muzovsky, 6-1-1 here on their home turf. It is really that prevalent in the Western Athletic Conference home field advantage, where the WAC tournament is next week. It's at UNLV. They're going to have to punch him in the mouth, the Lopes will, to dictate the tone here early.
Well, yes, and look, if you are going to the tournament, you're going to be at UNLV. You're most likely at some point you might run into him. So if you can set the precedence now, you can let them know that you're the team to beat. Well, this is the time to do it.
Well, it's going to be an exciting matchup as Jeremy Pollard in goal for the Lopes. Enrique Adame in goal for the UNLV Rebels. The introductions of the players are commencing on the field. We'll have our prayer and our national anthem forthcoming.
We ask that you all please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your caps as we begin this evening's competition with the word of prayer. Tonight's prayer is led by GCU Havoc's leader, Brady Ostendorf, a senior majoring in sports management.
Yeah, Brady! Please bow your heads with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this night. Thank you for the wonderful weather that we're having and the fact that we can come out and enjoy the beautiful game that is soccer. Lord, I pray that you please put a hand of protection over all the athletes tonight, and that everything that is done in the stands and on the field may be done in your glory. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Thank you, Brady. GCU Army ROTC Color Guard will now present the colors for the national anthem. The team is comprised of Senior Rifleman Cadet Ian Blodgett, Arizona Flag Bearer Cadet Alyssa Carver, National Flag Bearer Cadet Dylan Nye, and Junior Rifleman Cadet Drew Schwab. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we now honor America with a singing of our national anthem. The Star-Spangled Banner will be performed this evening by the 91st Psalm Christian School under the direction of Rob Arthurs. Thank you.
Great job with our prayer and our national anthem. Brady Ostendorf, a member of the Havoc student body here at GCU, and the anthem from the 91st Palm Christian School. UNLV Rebels coming in 9-9 overall, 6-3 in the Western Athletic Conference. Their head coach is Ryan Ryerson. It's his 8th season. Spent 2 seasons as an assistant under Mario Sanchez, a former midfielder in a number of professional ranks throughout his younger days. Also played in the Swedish 2nd Division. Ryan Ryerson, here is a starting lineup. Enrique Adame in goal. Adam Uzovsky on D, along with Dry, Eng, and Chavez. Midfield, Gonzalez, Malish, Velasquez, and Takanda, Musovsky, and Diaz up front.
Yeah, and pay attention to Timo Malish. He's got 8 points on the season so far, but things are going to run through him. He's going to be the connector that's going to allow the players up top, like Musovsky, to get on the ball. He's going to try to shift, not just from that left side, but centrally to hold the ball and control the midfield.
GCU 7-9-1 overall, 4-4-1 in the Western Athletic Conference. Their head coach is Shellis Heineman in his 3rd season. They are 11-3-2 at this new stadium on the campus of Grand Canyon University. The starting lineup for Shellis Heineman: Jeremy Pollard, the goalkeeper; Slack, Johnson, Say, McLaughlin, Sasaverovich at the defender position; Josh Drack, Jackson Jella, Charles Keating, Morris Demos. The midfielders up front, Nicky Jackson.
Well, the player to pay attention to for me, Josh Drack, talking to the coach. James, he was saying about he has really developed as a freshman. He's gotten better and better throughout the season, and he's one that's allowed Jackson to flourish because with his ability to get up front and support Jackson underneath.
The associate head coach and recruiting coordinator is Kevin Doyle for the Lopes. The assistant coach, Chizo Moznia. The volunteer assistant, Boris Tioherevich. And the grad assistant is Juan Gonzalez. Enrique Adame in goal, 17 games, 24 goals against. His goals against average at 1.4.
Well, there's going to be a lot of pressure, I think, tonight on Adame, as we're going to see this Lopes side kind of push, going for the win. They're going to put, I think they're going to put a lot of shots on goal, and he's going to have to be on point.
Jeremy Pollard in for the Lopes, the transfer from Akron from Sydney, Australia. 6-6-1 overall. His goals against average is 1.62. 70 saves on the season, and his save percentage at 74.5.
Well, the redshirt freshman and Pollard, a lot's going to be on him as well, as this UNLV side is going to try to get crosses in. The question is going to be, how can he handle coming off of his line and getting out?
Past the touchline, UNLV. Wazowski, look for him. Third in the nation in scoring. Far side, Jella knocked out by the Rebels. Gonzalez. Slack with the throw-in. Jackson knocked off the ball. Baelish. Near side, headed by the Lopes. Say, unable to pick it up. Baelish. Near side. Wazowski. Good work by the Lopes, picking that pass off. Jella. Midfield. Couple of walk-ons. The center back position for the Lopes. Big story there. Brandon Johnson taking over. Tempe, Arizona, stepping in to the starting lineup. Throw in for the Lopes.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Lopes come out into this match. It seems a little bit tepid right now. I expect them to kind of push a little bit harder to try to get the victory in this match. You know, pushing numbers forward, having the outside backs going forward, especially Sasaverovic on that left side. And let's pay attention, there's also a little bit of a change where they have Slack, Jordan Slack at that right back position. And see how much he tends to get forward.
Drac unable to come away with it for the Lopes. Madame, Las Vegas native. 14 players on the roster for the Rebels, right there from the Las Vegas, Henderson area. 16 from the Battle-Born State on the roster. This Rebels team started 1-5. Definitely responded after that start. Find themselves currently third in the WAC. They'll be hosting the tournament next week. They were in the 4th spot. The Lopes are currently in with a victory. San Jose State's in there. But the Rebels a year ago won the tournament from that 4th spot. They'll be vying for their 3rd in the last 4 years. Chavez.
It's interesting tactically for the Lopes on how they're playing this defensively, just by the positioning of Nicky Jackson up top. He's trying to make sure that the ball does not get to Adam Wazowski at that left central back position. They don't want him building out of the back.
Keating. Say, Hadim Say, Senegal. Sasaverovic, good move there. Has it back, one touch. Keating. Far side over to Slack. Not much rhythm here from either team early on. I'm sure the Lopes were trying to set the tone early on in this game on their home pitch. Past the touchline.
That's like I said, it felt very tepid from the Lopes, and I think the Rebels are going right into it as well, where it's very slow, kind of feeling each other out, and no one's really pushing to try to break down the opponent's defense.
Marco Gonzalez leaves for James Dry. It's a running start. Pushed away by Pollard. Nice work and a nice throw in. from Dry.
Well, it's a long throw from Dry, and that's something that the Lopes are going to have to pay attention to is how they can put that ball right on top of Pollard. There's going to be a lot of testing of Pollard and how well he can come out and try to hold on to it, because that last opportunity there, not the best from Pollard. He's got to hold on to the ball or punch that out.
Cleared out by the Rebels. Keeping it in there. Nice move by Takata. McLaughlin.
Come on, Joe.
Lopes ball. Takata. From Honolulu. Dry. Leaves it for Adame. Big boot. McLaughlin pushes back to Pollard. Headed back in by Takata. Ooh, Takata might have been clipped there. He's down. Back up on his feet. Wanted a call, didn't get it. McLaughlin pushes it out. Throw-in coming up for the Rebels. See the collision here.
See as this ball's bouncing up, it looks like it just maybe a little bit of a elbow, just catches him right.
The left elbow there.
Yeah, just the arm going back. Unintentional.
Corner coming up. Marco Gonzalez making his way over. Keating and Say, the 6. Laser makes its way through. Oh, Pollard with a save. Oh, snuck on through. The shot. Adam Muzovsky with that bullet on Pollard, and he came up with that big early save. Take a look.
Now this corner, now this ball cannot get through. That's got to be cleared somewhere, but it sneaks through, and you see Pollard come up with a huge save as Muzovsky gets the first time shot, and all Pollard can really do is just parry that one wide.
Well, his brother Danny has 12 goals. Adam was looking for his first of the season. The box headed out. Looks like a corner. Nope. Yep. Drack's going to make his way over. Josh Drack. A freshman from Chandler, Arizona. Hamilton High School right here in the Valley. Had the shot on goal against Utah Valley that was bobbled by the goalkeeper and put in by Herman. A little heavy. McLaughlin with the header just misses.
Now this is a good ball in because it's going to the back post. They're looking for McLaughlin at that back post, and he gets ahead on it, but just isn't able to squeak that into that near post space to force the save. And that's a good look. The first one goes towards the near post. Try to switch it up and get that ball to the back post where your big guys are. That's why they're up there.
Dame played that well. Good work in the corner by Sasaverovic. Throw in for the Lopes. Look at
Sasaverovic is going to have to be a little bit careful because we're noticing his arms are swinging quite a bit every time that he gets in a battle with Takata. But sooner or later, if that swings too much, swings too high, the referee's going to be pulling out a yellow card.
The 18 kick back out. Keating leaves for Sasaverovic. Middle of the field, pushed back in by the Rebels. Ing. Ricocheted out. The goal kick. Bullet. Zofsky, 12 goals, 6 assists, 30 points. Black preseason player of the year. Looks like the preseason prognosticators nailed that one. Keating. Whop for Jackson, offside.
Yeah, just the timing's not there right now between Keaton and Jackson. Jackson takes off way too early, and you can see the back line kind of holds, and Jackson finds himself in an offside position by about 2 or 3 yards. And almost you want to see Jackson. He's in that position to bend that run, curl that run. So you're staying in that onside position until that ball is kicked.
Ing to his right, near side, tracks, pushes it up. Far side, Jordan Slack. Jella.
Yella's got to do better with that. He's showing the ball to the defender. You show the ball like that, all the defender has to do is just step in there and just poke it away.
Velasquez. Adame now takes it from Chavez. Chavez takes the return. Sits and surveys.
This is the tactics. This is how the Lopes want UNLV to build. They want them to build off of their right side. That's where they feel that the weaker side is. That's why you see Nicky Jackson shifting over to this left side, forcing them to play on the right, so they can't get any build on the left at all.
Sure, Say didn't want to come off his foot right back towards his end. Gonzalez. Worked by Bella. Throw in here for Slack. To Nicky Jackson off his chest. Pass the touchline. Throw in Rebels. Dry. Zofsky unable to get it to Malish. Back to Pollard. Takata from one side to the other. McLaughlin up middle, far side, Slack. Jackson looking to move around Muzovsky, unable to do that, pushes it over to Keating. Now to the near side. Sasaverovich, Drax there, 1v1, moving on the inside of the wing. Picked off by Diaz. Either team really finding an opening, yeah, but both opportunities to score coming on corners.
Here's a little look as you see Drac try to go through, and probably not the best decision as he has two defenders on him. It just makes it so much easier for the defenders to just drop in on him defensively. He's got to give that ball up, try to find a teammate, try to find where the numbers are offensively.
Passed in and picked up by the Lopes. Jackson. Boot stopped there by Muzovsky. Open room now. Look out, Marco Gonzalez. Tried to push it up. McLaughlin tried to get it to Muzovsky, but unsuccessful. Rebels throw it. Looking to move quickly. Velasquez. Leaves it for Dry. Dry with a long throw in. Goal kick.
And what's interesting, talking to Coach Ryerson, he was expecting the Lopes to really high press and come at them, and then they'd be able to break out on the counter. It hasn't quite worked out that way as both teams, but especially the Lopes, trying to hold on to the ball a little bit more and play around it. They haven't been too much of a threat yet into that final third.
Up over the back. Free kick coming up. Called on Chavez. Try to get it over to Jella. Pushed out by the Rebels. Slack. Johnson. Jella keeps it in. Morris Damos to Say to McLaughlin. Looks up the middle. Keating looks for Drac. Nowhere to go, swarmed by the Rebels. Salsaverovich unable to keep it in.
It's just a bit sloppy, on both sides.
Yep.
In the once they reach that final third, no one's taking really possession and understanding. You got to hold on to this ball. You got to treasure the ball at those in that final third, at those final moments. The final pass, the final shot just hasn't been clean on either side.
Slack, side of his foot. Morris Damos. Nice weave. Long kick up over the top. Let's send it over to Kate Longworth.
Guys, we can that we're going to start to see some shots towards goal, and some happen to go in the net. As a team, GCU not afraid to take shots. The Lopes mark 15th nationally at over 15 shots per match. Meanwhile, when you look at the WAC goals scored, we've got 12 for Danny Muskowski for UNLV, and Nicky Jackson is in third with 9, and Damian making the list as well at the 8th spot. He's tied with 9 others with 5 goals to his name.
Both teams familiar with putting up some points here early on. A bit tentative.
Yeah, if they're going to do that today, they're
going to have to step it up.
You have to push a little bit more. You know, you can't be so timid.
A lot on the line for the Lopes.
As an old coach of mine used to say, you got to dare to be brilliant.
Only one shot on goal all game. Adam Muzovsky on that corner kick got through, and Pollard had to come up with a pretty good save.
You almost get the feeling that neither team wants to make a mistake.
Yeah.
So they're playing so conservative.
Diaz, nice slide there by Johnson. Johnson stepping into the starting lineup recently. Mountain Point High School, locally.
See, just that slide coming through. See Johnson coming in. You know, Johnson and McLaughlin. Talking to Coach Hyman, he was saying two walk-ons.
Yeah. In the box. Jackson got a head on it. Keating's over there. Back out. Put back in by the Rebels up high. Far side. Muzovsky knocked off the ball on the run. Jella putting it on the afterburners, but cut off by Velasquez. I don't know why he didn't try to keep it to the outside. Velasquez definitely had that inside shoulder.
Yeah, that's where Yella just has to have a better understanding of where he needs to dribble that ball and how he needs to run at the defender. If you continue to run at the defender side by side, that's better for the defender. You got to take a slight angle where you dribble at him, so he actually has to drop off and push off of you. Here comes that defensive support. Johnson coming in, just that aggressive behavior. And here, that's just a poor touch. It's a bad touch by Yella. But you can't allow the defender to get that close. All you have to do as a winger in that position, angle in, and the defender that's coming towards you, trust me, they're going to back off because they don't want to get beat.
Pushed up. Track. Up over the top. A little too aggressive from the freshman. Chandler, Arizona. Lothan. Sofsky. Near side, track. Takes it up the middle. Jackson. Near side. Morris Demos. Musa. Along the goal line. Oh, that's picked off.
Well, good work on the first one, but once you see that second player coming in, you gotta release the ball.
Diaz. Nice move. UNLV. Drac pushes back. Sosaverovich. Johnson. Big kick. Nobody home. Brandon Johnson from Mountain Point High School, Tempe, Arizona, the redshirt freshman. Place kicker for the high school football team there. McLaughlin. Sanofsky's paddling McLaughlin. Oh, Jackson unable to pick that off. Nice play defensively by the Rebels. Chavez. Adam Muvzovsky. Diaz. Looked up for Danny Muvzovsky, not there. Pushed back out by the Lopes. Along the near side is Takata. Takata for Malish. Malish marked by Say. Timo to his left. Far side, stopped by Muvzovsky. 1-0 Rebels on the short side. Can't leave him alone.
Well, I tell you, it starts off with Mellish. Too much time for Mellish to get this cross in. Miscommunication by the two defenders inside. And you just see, look at this, both run with the player going forward, and they leave, of all people, Danny Muvzovsky wide open at the back post where he has enough time. Look at this is the problem. He has enough time to chest this, bounces down, settles up perfect for him to have a strike at the near post. And nothing that Pollard can do, you know, from that distance, that close. Pollard gets beat.
22:58, the time of the goal. Malish to Muvzovsky. Partita is in for Takata. Jesus Partita from Reno, Nevada. 13th goal of the season for Muvzovsky.
You can see it here with Metis just having run a show in the midfield.
Gonzalez. Partita. Looking to move on Drac. Quite the battle. Drac. Slack, rather, wins that one. Slack, you got Drac.
A couple of Muvzovskys.
Partita. Goal kick coming up for the Lopes. Pollard. Changing headers. McLaughlin. Sasaverovic foul on him. Free kick coming up.
Well, the Lopes have to figure out a way to change the point of attack and get the ball to the feet of Yella at this right wing position. He has the pace to take on the defender, to take on drive, but he just hasn't been able to beat him the couple of times that he has. He hasn't been clinical with him.
On the run, Mazovsky. Guarded by Johnson. Good boot by Johnson, the left foot. Sasaverovic.
As that ball just comes over the top, and Mazovsky can't get his foot on it to poke that one away, and Johnson just does a sacrificing, almost that emergency defending to send the ball away.
Nicky Jackson trying to move on Chavez, but he pushed it ahead and gave Chavez enough room to boot it away. Headed out by Dry.
Now with Nicky Jackson, as he receives this ball, he does a good job of turning, but just here, the technical ability has got to be better. He's got to have that dribble under much more control and not release it to the defender where he can just step in and clear it.
Slack inbound. Headed by Keating into the attacking third. Jackson looking for some room. None there. Rocket shot there by Morris. Demos is wide of the net.
I think as this ball comes to Demos, Morris Demos, it's a little bit hopeful there because he just doesn't have enough power on it. And you have Adame just sitting there waiting in good position. So even if that is on target, I think Adame's got that one.
Near side over to Jordan Chavez.
You can see this is it. The Lopes want Chavez to be the player that builds out of the back for UNLV. They're telling me that they don't think that this right side of UNLV is the best in decision making and building out of the back.
Velasquez. He's got that McLaughlin look. As far as the two shades of hair. Keating. Johnson. Over the head of Jella and Dry. Adam Musovsky. Malish. Lost off a couple of rebels after the kick from Slack. Pushes back to Pollard, does Johnson. He receives it back. Far side. Looking. Chips it up. Morris. Demos. More of a slip. Near side. Partita and for Takata.
The Rebs are starting to control the midfield. The Lopes are having a difficult time getting pressure on the ball.
Gonzalez. Marco Gonzalez. Mazovsky. Gonzalez turns, tries to chip it up. Melish, shot! Oh, just to the side. Momentum definitely swaying towards UNLV.
Yeah, as Timo Melish just gets into this space, watch this move here, just cuts it back. Has McLaughlin just do a bit of a flyby, and he tries to get this one at the near post. It just wide, testing Pollard's ability once again, just understanding the positioning of where he needs to be.
McLaughlin looking for Drac. For the Lopes, 6 for the Rebels. Shots. Partita. Pass Keating. Zofsky. Over the top.
Oh, you see. Take a look at Zofsky just making the little run, just beating McLaughlin to that space, but can't connect with the ball. A little bit frustrated there that he knew he had a golden opportunity.
Zofsky trying to send Gonzalez. Ooh, careful. Baelish. Dry, inside, Gonzalez. Good D there by Yella. Say for the Lopes. Pushed up far side. Morris Demos. Who had eyes on Jackson, but good D there by Adam Muzovsky. Baelish stopped there by Johnson. Say with the header. Morris Demos looking for Jackson. Partita there. To Chavez. Chavez picked off by Johnson. The header on the far side. Jackson Jella in the box. Drac too heavy. Headed out. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the Lopes. Multiple substitutions coming in. Damian Herman, Evan Waldrop in the lineup after seeing action in just 3 games earlier this season before sustaining an injury, and Marco Alfonso also checks into the game. Drac is out. Morris Demos is out, and Charles Keating is out for GCU.
Well, it's interesting because those subs, you're telling me that 2 central midfielders are coming off the field, and that's where the Lopes were lacking. In that midfield area, they just weren't having success of getting around the ball defensively, giving energy and winning the ball. So we'll see with these additions if somehow, some way, they get a little bit more play.
Adame, the goal kick. Baelish. Herman, some energy early on. Dry. Waldrop. Errant pass picked off by Marco Gonzalez. Looks up on the run, Denny Mozovsky. Whoa, what a move on McLaughlin. Still has it. Pollard able to pick it up, but my goodness. It might be something laying on the turf there.
Yeah, showing a little bit of skill here. Mozovsky just does a little turn here. Once again, just McLaughlin just swings at it and misses, and you can see Pollard comes out and misses the first time too. Just showing a little bit of skill and why there's so much talk about that young man.
Wow.
I tell you, the back line for the Lopes just not in sync, because as that ball went through, you saw that it was literally Mozovsky and McLaughlin probably about 5 to 10 yards behind the rest of the back line. McLaughlin's got to let him run. Let him run offside into an offside position. You don't have to worry about him.
Lopes get the call. Waldrop went down. Fonzo's over there as well with Evan Waldrop. Phoenix, Arizona. Fonzo from Johannesburg, South Africa. Who's going to take it? Waldrep. Adame with the easy save.
Yeah, a little bit hopeful. A little bit hopeful on that one from that distance to try to squeeze that one in at the near post. For those type of positionings of free kicks, I always like those driven to the far post and then just having your teammates just run onto it. So then it's so difficult for the opposing side as they're facing their own goal.
Partita unable to get it into the box. The header saved by Adame. Oh, it looks like Jackson is down. Herman is down. Damian Herman. I don't know if there was a collision between Adame and Damian Herman.
What a play this is. This is an absolutely brilliant ball that comes in here. Perfectly weighted right into the path of Damian Herman, and he gets his head on it. This will give us a much better look as we see Alfonso puts that ball in, and it looks maybe a knee right into the back as the two players kind of fall on top of each other. But that's sacrificing to try to get a goal. There's dedication. We mentioned it again and again about Herman and being that super sub, and he's come off the bench and he's probably given the best opportunity so far for the Lopes in this match.
No doubt. Now they have got two threats up front in Nicky Jackson and Damian Herman.
I would be amiss too if I didn't say what a save.
Yes.
What a save by Adame.
He's been stellar here. Muzovsky on the run. McLaughlin back, but forces good work by Muzovsky to force the corner. McLaughlin arguing his case there. All for naught. Tactically, Adame looking strong. Daniel Moran coming in. So is Marquise Pitt. Velasquez out. Malish in the box, headed out by the Lopes. It'll now be a throw-in for UNLV. Dry. He'll stand way back at that wall, make a running start, look for the throw-in to go all the way into the crease. Just outside. Headed out, McLaughlin takes it in the back. Does Sasaverovic, and the foul committed. Herman tripped up over the ball. Rebels throw in. Danny Muzovsky has the Rebels on top 1-0. Right now, a win or a draw for the Lopes means they are in there watching the scoreboard. As a couple of other teams and their outcomes could be a factor if the Lopes are not successful here this evening. Pitt, Partita. Pass Pitt. Lopes in control now. Yella, Day. Nicky Jackson. On the run is Jackson. Too heavy, headed out. Throw in coming up for the Lopes. Yeah, there's a slack, a drac, a day, and a say. It's like a Dr. Seuss.
Something like that.
And then the Muzovsky brothers, it's Keep thinking about Monsters Incorporated, and it's like into the box. McLaughlin had it. Oh, and good headed out by the Rebels. Waldrop, boot, just over the crest.
Now this was a chance. This was a chance for Waldrop as this ball comes in, the long throw. You can see there's the little flick. Adame gets caught, and then the little header. Damian Herman lays that one right off for Waldrop, and this is set up perfectly for the left-footed strike, but he leans back just a little bit at the end and gets that one up and over. I think if he hits that one cleanly, that one's going to be in the net.
Good job by Eng, headed out. On the threat by the Lopes. Adame. Near side and out. Lopes saw Zaverovic to throw it in. Fonzo. Jackson. Throw in GCU. Quickly, Sazaverovic for Waldrop. Dale catches it at his feet. He'll pick it up after Herman puts some pressure on. Dame telling his squad to move up. Waldrop. Afonso. Just past the touchline, UNLV to throw it in. Tyler Allen's going to come in for the Rebels. Come in for Mimo Diaz. Allen will throw it in. Tyler from Honolulu. A few minutes remaining here in this opening half of the Lopes down 1-0. Herman, Jackson. Allen pushes back. Adam Musovsky back to Adame.
You still get the impression that there hasn't been too much pressure put on this back line of UNLV, that they haven't been asked to do too much defensively. Maybe once or twice, but pretty comfortable for them defending, but also even when they have the ball. It's been very comfortable for the UNLV side. I expect that Shellis Hyman's going to be saying at halftime, we need a little bit more energy. We need to push a little bit more, especially from the front players and the midfield.
Yeah, they got a little bit more heat with the subs than they did from the starters. 2 shots on goal since the subs came in at the 32-minute mark. They had none before that. Herman and Waldrop providing a bit of spark, but still not enough for the Lopes. James Dry, sophomore, back to the wall and running start. Goal kick. Low to mid-70s, so about 75 degrees at kickoff here on the campus of GCU in Phoenix. Vice President of Athletics Mike Vaught will be stopping by to chat. It's basketball season, exhibition opener on Thursday night. So big victory for GCU basketball before another packed house at GCU Arena. Malish knocked down, a foul committed, under a minute now to go in this opening half.
And this is regardless, this is good effort when you see your striker coming back and just being aggressive and trying to win the ball. That's a little bit of an inspiration that the rest of the team takes home. Let me tell you, most players aren't used to seeing their strikers do a whole lot of defense.
Waldrip. Partita wins it. Chipped up. Mazovsky. Melish. Timo looking to move. Rocket way over the net. Closing out the opening half, Danny Mazovsky with the lone goal in the opening half. Puts the Rebels on top 1-0 here at GCU Soccer Stadium. As the Lopes coming to the game needing a win or a draw to advance in their first year of tournament eligibility to the Western Athletic Conference tournament, as UNLV has solidified themselves moving on, trying to win their third in the last 4 seasons. They'll be hosting the tournament next week. Always an advantage. GCU women winning their opening round tournament game here as they hosted the women's matchup, that final game tomorrow. Utah Valley taking on Seattle University. Let's send it down to the field and Kate Longworth.
All right, thank you guys. Well, Coach, when you look at this first half in the books, what did you see from your team's effort and the attack on offense as far as the energy level as well?
Yeah, I think with the energy level is fine. We just haven't gotten enough opportunities, and I think Nicky's trying to do a little bit too much on his own. So we went into a 4-4-2 where we got Damian up front, and we can already start to see a little bit of more activity. They're a very quick, organized team, so we're a little bit nervous in the defense where we're just trying to kick the ball forward.
And you talked about coming into this game how you've got to go out there and defend Mazovsky. What have you seen from your team doing that, and what do you need to do in the second half to continue that?
Well, I think the energy's there. I think the fight's there. The thing we have to do is just create more scoring opportunities. We've had 2 very good chances that the goalie has come up with the saves, but those are without the second opportunity or the follow-ups. We got to do that. We got to get numbers around the ball.
All right, we wish you the best luck in the second half. All right, guys, you heard from Coach. It's still a close one here, and those seniors especially playing their final home game, they're going to want to come out with a lot of fight in that second half.
No doubt about it. Numbers around the ball. That's what Kobe Jones been talking about. A little bit more pressure up front on Adame, who has looked strong here after 1 half of play. Danny Mazovsky with that goal. They lead it 1-0 to the UNLV Rebels. Stay with us. Kate will be back with more of our halftime festivities from GCU Soccer Stadium after we take this time out.
I've been to other colleges, and GCU is the most student-friendly campus that I've been in.
I work full-time. I have a young family. Coming to class at night after work has been perfect with my schedule.
It allows me to still, work a 50 to 60 hour week, but also come to school.
I could have gone online, but I like the in-class experience.
I work full-time, and I'm also a parent, so having evening classes have been the best option for me.
Well, my favorite part of the program has definitely been the students and the faculty, especially the students. Our cohort has been really close, and we've become friends even outside of class.
We all have a relationship now, and it really helps you get through the program.
The professors have all been great.
The focus on the individual students is unlike any other campus I've been in.
What I've learned throughout my curriculum here at GCU, I've been able to apply on multiple levels.
It is 1 night a week, so it's a lot easier to attend classes, especially since I like the in-person interaction.
I know this knowledge is going to help me.
your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Welcome back. Kate Longworth here on the Lopes halftime show as the Lopes trail right now at the break 1-0 to UNLV, but there's still a second half to be played on senior night here at GCU Stadium. So plenty more soccer to come your way. But for now, I am Kate Longworth bringing you this halftime show on Your View, and I am joined by a member of the Lopes Athletic Department, Mike Vaught. If you come out here to a GCU game, you will find him not far away from the action. What has it been like for you now that basketball has tipped off? We were there at the exhibition game on Thursday night, a big victory. And of course, the team is now NCAA tournament eligible. Take me through what Thursday night's game was like from your point of view.
Well, it was a great night, but then we had Midnight Madness prior to that. It was incredible. We have the best in the country when it comes to Midnight Madness. And then just for the exhibition game this last week, full crowd, our Havocs group's unbelievable. The atmosphere was great, a lot of energy. And I think Dan was pretty pleased with the performance. Everybody got to play, and we got some really good young players he was wanting to look at. So it was a great evening.
Speaking of Dan, he was recently inducted, of course, to the Arizona Sports Hall of Fame. What has he done for this program? What kind of energy and, of course, intensity does he bring? And now we're talking about this team being tournament eligible, but really their play the last few years looks like that's what they've always been playing.
Well, first, Dan's a great person. He's a great coach, but he's even a better person. Does a great job representing our university, and he really has that personable touch, when it comes to recruiting and just touching people's lives. When he's out in the community. He's a popular guy here in Phoenix, of course, and congratulations to him being inducted into the Hall of Fame here in Arizona for the sports. It was an unbelievable night for him. He had a good time over there. But yeah, he's built the program over the last few years. We have a talented group of young men, really great group of kids this year, and I know he's really excited about the upcoming season.
And I know everyone is, and was evident in that exhibition game with a packed house, and I know that's what we can expect all season long. But now transitioning over to soccer, we're watching a great match tonight. Men's team in charge of their own destiny, and of course we saw the women's team punch their ticket to the WAC tournament, and then the team hosted, or rather the stadium was the host to that tournament. What's that week you've had all the teams cycling through here?
Well, that's been great because we have to put our bid in 2 or 3 years out. So we did it, I think, 2.5 years ago, actually, and got to host the women's tournament here. And it's great exposure for our university. It's a great home field advantage when our team's playing in it. And the other universities get to come here, the fans get to come here, and really see what GCU is all about. And a lot of those people that come to these games have sons or daughters looking for a university to go to, and it gives them great exposure while they're here in town.
And speaking of the stadium being chosen for such a site because of, look what it looks like. But let's talk about the 10-2 initiative and just where the school is at, rather, with both the baseball and softball facilities.
Well, softball and baseball will be done in February. That's our last two. We just finished our sports medicine department expansion and our weight room expansion. So we're finished with the 10-2, hopefully by around February 1st. It's going to be great for our baseball and softball teams to play in. It's really going to be great for our fans because when you have great facilities, it's great for the students, it's great for the fan experience, it makes an enjoyable atmosphere to come watch our sports teams play, and it really builds a community feel, and that's what GCU is all about here.
Yeah, and you feel that tonight. Here we are on a Saturday night behind us, young kids out there playing a soccer game, and of course, second half, we will have more Lopes action coming your way. Mike Vaught, thank you so much for being here with us.
Good seeing you.
We'll see you out at the next athletic event, and we will see you right after these messages.
Arguably, will be the best stadium in the country. I can't think of one or seen a collegiate stadium any better. And it really comes to President Mueller with his vision and his commitment to the sport of soccer. He has invested a great deal of money into making this such a quality event. I can say I'm here because of that. I'm here because of the fact that he wants soccer to be an important sport. You've got a beautiful stadium. Everything that you're looking at that stadium is new. Seats, individual seats. Then you have that room where people can just throw a blanket down and be a part of it. And you know that the Havocs group is going to really embrace this. And we're already working almost weekly on going out to the community and getting people to be a part of this. It could be one of the best atmospheres in collegiate men's soccer. With that stadium, we've been able to attract outstanding talent we've also been able to attract national contenders throughout the country on our schedule. This summer alone with the Copa America, we will have teams training on our field. And with that, not only is it going to be a wonderful opportunity for our players to play on that field, but it's for the city. Phoenix now has Grand Canyon University Soccer Stadium. We are the only Division I team in the state of Arizona for men's soccer.
Danny Movzovsky has the Rebels on top 1-0 after one half of play here at GCU Soccer Stadium. Barry Butel alongside Kobe Jones. So glad you could tune in to GCU Soccer along with the Rebels here. A great Western Athletic Conference matchup. Kind of the recurring theme, and we're repeating this over and over all again, and Chellis Hyman said it to Kate Longworth at the halftime. For GCU, they just haven't been able to put a lot of pressure on Adame, and when they have, Adame has been there to stop them.
Yeah, and I really think it's from back to front. You know, there really hasn't been a whole lot of energy. They're not winning the midfield, and once you win the midfield, all of a sudden it makes things a lot easier going forward. So that's where they have to really get around the ball, get a hold of the ball, and take care of it in that final third.
The biggest threats were when the subs came in, and Waldrop and Damian Herman, a couple of threats there for GCU. But a player they needed to watch was Danny Movzovsky. He, again, looking spectacular in that opening half.
Oh, he knows where to be. He knows how to move off the ball and get himself in the right positions. And it hasn't just been once off of the goal. It's been a couple of times where he's looked extremely dangerous getting forward, pulling away from the ball, pulling off of the ball, and creating chances for himself.
Let's take a look at the opening half highlights. Adam Movzovsky on this corner kick.
Yeah, you see that once that ball gets through, that can't bounce through, and it just finds its way to Movzovsky. But you see Pollard comes up with the save and is able to parry it wide. But the continued pressure comes from UNLV. Melish with the great ball over the top, and look at this. This is what we're talking about. See how Movzovsky pulls away from the defenders, so it allows him to get that extra second to have the ball bounce up for a perfect strike at that near post, beating Pollard. And then you see GCU gets a couple of opportunities, and when Musa has a strike, not a lot of power behind it. And this is the thing, it's almost like it's half chances for GCU. But every time that UNLV goes forward, they're looking dangerous. And Melic, one player. But then you see since the subs came on, you said Damian Herman come up with a beautiful header, and then it's just Adame with a reactionary save to keep the ball out of the back of the net. And you see the long throws, a few more opportunities, but it still hasn't been clean and precise, and I expect more of that type of talk coming from the coach to the players. Let's get clean, let's get precise in that final third.
Look at the opening half stats, 8-7. Shots go in favor of UNLV. Shots on goal equal at 2. Fouls 4 and 4. Corners 2-1 in favor of UNLV. They're the ones, though, that are putting on more threats offensively through Timo Melish, also Danny Movzovsky. Gonzalez has been active up front. They just seem to be peppering and being active and attacking.
It's a constant push.
Yeah.
And we saw that the shot seemed, well, at least as far as the stats, was pretty close to even. But it's the quality of chances that matters. And you see that UNLV has had better quality chances going to goal. And that's something that GCU has to do a little bit better with, getting more numbers, not only in the midfield, but more numbers in the box to create better chances.
We shall see. Second half action coming up around the corner. UNLV on top 1-0 after one half of play. Keep it right here on Your View.
Our company is Comfortpedic Inc. We're a local mattress company here. It's a small family business that my dad started. Now we are providing the dorm mattresses to the most recent dorms here at GCU. One of my professors, he was a professor for my junior year, Paul Waterman, he was the one that started everything. Without him, this wouldn't have been possible. I came up with a short presentation, a very quick business pitch. I presented Dr. Gibb with my company history, and he loved it. So first we started with the hotel mattresses. Brett Courtwhite was very helpful, and everything ran smoothly. From there, we began with the dorm mattresses. We asked them what exactly they were looking for in a dorm mattress, and that's when we started to come up with with a prototype. We brought in one of the mattresses that GCU currently has. We opened it up. We saw where they needed improvement and what we could do best to like maximize a better prototype. And we came up with the mattresses that we have now, and after that everything ran pretty smoothly, thankfully. You can see the community thriving along with GCU, and just the fact that GCU was willing to buy locally from a company that's only 10 minutes away, you can tell that they really want the community to grow with them. I'm very proud to say I'm a Lope, and I tell it to everyone, like, go to GCU, Lopes up. I'm very, very proud.
Welcome back to the Lopes Halftime Show. You are watching Division I men's soccer here on Your View. And right now, Grand Canyon trailing 1-0 to UNLV, but we still have a second half to be played. I am Kate Longworth, and counting you down to kickoff here in the second half. But first, we have talked about the Lopes being in charge of their own destiny. They are in the driver's seat. With a win or a tie tonight, they advance to the WAC tournament. So, speaking of the WAC, let's just take a look and head around the conference to see how other teams fared today. CSU Bakersfield coming up short at San Jose State, 1-0 the final there. Meanwhile, UTRGV gets the victory at UIW, 2-1 the final. Cedro Martinez had both those goals. Seattle U also takes the victory, 2-1 at Utah Valley. Meanwhile, Air Force 2, Kansas City 1, popular score tonight. That was the final in overtime. 2-1, a popular score throughout the league. We shall see what the final score will be here at GCU Stadium. Had a chance to talk with Coach Hyman at the break, and he said he likes the effort and the energy he's seeing from his team, but he wants to see more attack on the goal, making sense. And of course, they got to go out there and contain UNLV. Both of these teams, they have the ability to score big. We've seen it in past games, and we know that the Lopes really can defend their home pitch. So we'll see what they can do tonight as they finish off the second half. Barry, Kobe, the stage is yours as we get underway with more action.
Thank you very much, Kate. Yeah, we were checking with some of the out-of-town scores, and it looks like Utah Valley may have lost this evening. So that is very good news for the Lopes. Regardless of how the outcome, they would no doubt love to have a victory or a draw against this tough UNLV squad. But their seeding now is anywhere from 4 to 7 in the upcoming WAC men's soccer tournament. That second seed would be Seattle, tough opponent. Or it could be UNLV. Both with 18 points. It'll all be worked out after the conclusion of the regular season and this game. Herman is there. Time, oh, right there, rebound. Chipped up, oh, headed out at the goal line by the Rebels.
Pretty interesting, a great opportunity by Herman right off the bat. The assistant referee had his flag up for a moment, but was waved off.
There's the threat. They must have heard plenty from Shellis Heineman in the locker room. There's Herman.
Here's Herman.
Just trying to get containment. Working around Ruzovsky. Adam. Chip shot. Headed out by Chavez.
Yeah, too many numbers. Just too many numbers in there eventually as he couldn't get it off quickly enough. And it was just a saving grace when it comes down to it with Adam Mazowski just getting in the way so he couldn't get that quick shot off.
Della unable to pull it away. Gonzalez does. Austin Day in the game. Waldrop turning, knocked off the ball by Velasquez, but retains it. Day hit Velasquez. That attempt to the middle. Jella near side. Moving in on Dry.
Here's a look at where Herman has that opportunity where Musovski gets enough on it, where he just slows down the attack. And then look at the numbers, 5-6 defenders getting into the box for UNLV to deny Herman.
Corner from Marco Afonso. Jello came up a little limpy. Here's the kick. It's heavy. Knocked out by Say. Actually went off a Rebel. I thought Vadim Say might have hit it. But they'll go to the other side. Throw in Sasaverovic. Good work by Enrique Adame coming out and grabbing that.
Strong challenge by Adame coming out and just grabbing that ball out of the air, and it's what's needed. It's what every defender wants from their goalkeeper, just to own the box. Anything lobbed up like that, the keeper has to come out and be the victor.
Waldrop. Fonzo on the run. Must have been some contact there. Official wants to talk to Afonso. Dame. Headed by Johnson. Kicked up by Herman. Waldrop. Near side. Blocked there by Dry. Diaz on the far side. Day knocked it out for the Lobes. Velasquez. Diaz. Beyond the touchline. Rebels. Some confusion there. Wilps just weren't paying attention. Diaz. Musovski back out front. McLaughlin pushes it up. Jella trying to stay with it. Drops it for Waldrop. Pushes back. Now to the far side, Sasaverovic. Musovski. Chipped up by Velasquez. Malish.
A lot of space in the midfield for UNLV. Once again, it's starting to open up.
Partita moves around Waldrop. Waldrop gets a hold of the jersey and pulls him down.
Now you look at this space. Look at all the time. There's just the area where there's no defensive support. So when Waldrop does get beat, that's all he can do is pretty much take a tactical foul and just bring the player down. If he doesn't, you know, it's going to be a direct shot right in line to goal.
Marco Gonzalez, Timo Malish. Jella, Afonso standing in front. Gonzalez. Ooh. Threaded the needle. Near side. Goal kick.
Just stepping up on the shot just to that near post. Goes by with a little bit of pace. Pollard there diving again. It seems like his dive's a little bit late on that one.
Yella. Day. Back of the head. Gonzalez. Zofsky. Johnson getting an arm around him. Send it over to Kay Longworth.
Well, guys, great news for the Lopes. Obviously, they want to get the victory tonight in their last regular season here at GCU Stadium. However, with Utah Valley falling tonight to Seattle U, they are playing tonight the Lopes for seeding. They have made it to the WAC tournament. A win tonight gives them the number 4 seed, a tie number 6, and a loss that 7th seed. Tournament play is in Las Vegas and starts on Wednesday.
Thank you, Kate. Yeah, it's just a matter of who you want to face in that opening round. Drax coming in for Agella. He's provided a spark in the past as Josh Drack, in particular that overtime victory against Utah Valley. Took the shot. Damian Herman got the rebound to win it. Glothin. Near side. Drag. Inside. Lefty curling it in too heavy. Past Damian Herman.
Not bad at all at having Drac at that right winger position as he comes in on that left side. Looks a little, it's better for him to come in and have a shot. And this is something that was seen earlier. You can see here, you can just see a little punch right there thrown by
now
Ing.
We know what Afonso was talking about.
Yeah, and Alfonso's upset. He has every right to be upset. He just goes and has a
Jason
swing.
Ing.
Ing's lucky that he wasn't caught there by the referee because that's a straight red.
Malish stops. Right-handed in the goal. Malish, I don't know how he threaded the needle or found an opening, but the Lopes gave it to him. Timo Malish, 2-0 UNLV. Well, they came to play. They're like Mike Tyson. They came off of out of the corner and just punched the Lopes in the mouth here, almost literally.
As this ball comes through, look at this. You see Kadeem Shea just slow to react. Timo Malish just goes right through. The collapsing defense comes in, but this, it's not good enough because no one steps up, and it's just a little touch from Timo Malish. Is able to push that one right around, and then there's the touch away, and then he just finds that far post, and just a multitude of errors from 3 different players on the field, and also from Pollard in goal. The way he dives at the ball, he's not reaching with the hands to clear it. He's doing one hand after the other, just too wide.
Yeah, we've seen before. I mean, Adame's playing proper position, and there was really no place for Malish to go but on that, exactly where he went. Three Lopes players, they just were unsuccessful in trying to cut that angle off, which really was not.
Yeah, Sheller Simon's going to be upset at that one when he looks at that play over again, just seeing how there's 3 players that can make a play, and none of them do. None of them step up and deny the shot by Melic.
Say from Senegal, 6'3" senior.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about say if he was going to be playing, you know, on this evening, if he was going to be starting, but he seems to be out there. It still looks like he's not quite.
Ooh, they needed some help there from Nicky Jackson of all people. Close. Very surprising. Keating's going to check in.
There has to be questions on Kadeem Shea if he's 100%.
I think he's coming back out.
You see here's just a little move here. Just a little bit of a touch there from Nicky Jackson. Jackson giving a little bit of energy there on the defensive side. And I think after the goal where Kadeem Shea gets beat, the record of what's going on, knowing that you are going to the tournament regardless of the result here, I think that's why the substitution happens, that Shea comes out, give him a little bit of rest and deal with whatever issues that he has going on. It's the smart move.
Oh, yeah. Get him as healthy as possible for next week. Pushed up. Through. Here's an opportunity. Shot. Goal! Nicky Jackson. 10th goal of the season. 40th of his career for Nicky Jackson. Some new life for GCU. Down now. 2-1.
Well, there has to be some worry up for this UNLV side. As you see Nicky Jackson, just the dummy there. He's in the onside position, it looks like, because there wasn't a touch there. The dummy just allows it to run right through. A great little dummy. Nicky Jackson picks it up, sets himself up to get the shot off quickly, and just able to place that one right by the keeper. And now Nicky Jackson on the board, scoring against UNLV, and UNLV team's got to be worried, because if I remember correctly, last year when they played it was 2-2, and I think Nicky Jackson got 2 goals within a minute.
That's right. Just over a year ago, October 14th. Bit of collision. Jason Ng. Johnson.
Johnson picks up the yellow card.
Do any conversations maybe go on about maybe what Fonzo might have received there? That, although that looked like he was going after the ball,
but I know what you're saying, and
yeah.
Yes. You always protect your teammates, especially defenders.
Yep. I don't think either team would feel bad about that.
That's what they do, right? That's why they're called defenders. They defend. You defend your teammates.
You defend your teammates, yeah. Luzovsky. Johnson's on him. Tries to move. Johnson put an end to it. Corner coming up. So strong on the ball, Danny Luzovsky. Marco Gonzalez, the freshman midfielder. Curling. Foul in the box. Two-1 now as Nicky Jackson gets the Lopes on the board after Malish scored the second UNLV goal. Denny Muvzovsky, the first one in the opening half. Muvzovsky pushed up by the Lopes. Headed up by Diaz. Velasquez. Sosaverovic kicks it out past the touchline. Mimo Diaz. Anthony, New Mexico native. Waldrop for the Lopes. Cuts to his left. Pushes up. Nobody home. Adam Muvzovsky, marked there by Afonso, gets it back to Adame. Up the middle. Nicky Jackson trying to get a leg on it. Keating does. On this near side is Drag. Drag inching his way, tapping in. Pushes back. Day. Pushes up. No one there. Not sure what Day was looking for.
Yeah, and that's the question. That's got to be a better ball from Day. He's got time. He's got space. He's got to be able to pick out a player, pick out a teammate instead of just giving the ball away.
Waldrop. Far side, Sosaverovic. Another errant pass. Partita. Malish. Diaz. Fonzo. for the Lopes on the run. Far side, looking inside. Curls in. Oh, just into the hands of Adame.
Nicky Jackson showing a little bit of that pace as that ball that was going into the box was deflected and not anywhere near where it was supposed to go, but Nicky Jackson almost gets a toe on it.
Ortida. Waldrop on him. Back. Herman's there to put pressure, but fighting through it is Ing. Hit it by the Lopes. Waldrop. Malish. Waldrop up for Herman. Herman looking for Jackson. Jackson on the run. Adam Uzovsky's there. Jackson with a shot! Saved by Adame.
Yeah, great work by Nicky Jackson running into that space, holding off his defender, and able to really just get that shot off, all off of individual effort here. Now, he's holding off Musovsky. Maybe he has the opportunity to lay this one as the overlapping run, but elects, hey, he's a striker. He's going to go for goal. That's what strikers do, especially after scoring one. He's feeling hot right now. He's feeling it, and he wants that ball anytime he's near the 18.
You saw Adam Musovsky go down a little bit, caught his little slip, gave Jackson the opportunity to get a shot attempt on. Waldrop, far side. Nice move around Gonzalez. Afonso right along the touchline, far side, knocks it off the Rebels on a nice move by Afonso. Quickly takes it back, pushes back Sasaverovic. McLaughlin. Keating. Afonso, one touch. Waldrop, back to Afonso. In the wing. Marked there by Diaz. Afonso chips it up. Jackson headed it. Now Herman, he has it. Herman's looking for some room. Drax there, moving it in. Oh, pushed out, nice move there. Now, back to Day, pushes it back in, nobody home, and pushed out by UNLV.
Well, a couple of players, their addition on the field have really sparked this GCU side, and this is one of them right here. Waldrop, he's been able to run the show through the midfield. He's been not the best pass there, but he's been the one that's been providing for everybody up top, so GCU's had a much better look going forward.
Malish, is he able to keep it in? Oh my, that was close. Right in front of the official. Malish, all right through the crease. Beyond the goal line, apparently. Goal kick coming up for Pollard. That ball was very close along the touchline, right in front of the UNLV bench.
Look as Malish saves that ball and just continues the attack. And this is just the abilities of Malish as he just takes this one right to the line. Oh, is that a little bit of a deflection where it just goes?
It goes beyond the touch. They called it the goal line, rather.
I'm just interested in how that ball just went past the keeper and all the way through to the other side. I think it might have been a deflection.
Amazing how he's able to thread needles and still have an opportunity. Very gifted player. Sasaverovic. Some room. Herman. Herman into Jackson. Partita for the Rebels. Pulls it away from Afonso. Through the center circle. Malish looked for Partita, but Sasaverovic picked it off, pushed it back to Pollard. Pollard back to the center circle it goes. Over the head. Damian Herman. Jackson got a little bit of it. Herman looking for some room. And the Lopes in control. Waldrop. Near side Drack. Josh Drack. Gonzalez. Drack. Walk that off and dry. Day moves inside.
It's very tight, not a lot of width coming from GCU. Not the best ball there. That's got to be better from Sasaverovic. You know, trying to force that in. Maybe holding on to it for a better decision.
Zofsky takes a hard fall, so does Johnson. yellow card coming up for Johnson. It all started with that second yellow card. Johnson's going to be coming out. So the red card is signed. As the Rebels and their fans hold their collective breath when Danny Musovsky hits the turf hard.
You see Johnson just comes in late. He doesn't have a good angle at the ball and ends up, just connecting and with.
But it all got back to Sasaverovich, right? With that pass attempt, and then.
Yeah, it's the poor pass, and then you send UNLV on the counter on the break, and then you have your defense scrambling, and it ends up being Johnson, taking the fall there as he just comes in with poor angle, poor tackle, and Musovsky, and just finds himself picking up the second yellow. That's the red card. Now you have GCU playing down a man for the rest of the match.
Down a man and down a goal. Curling in the box, goal kick coming up. Final game, down 2-1, down a man. You just get crazy and do some things that you would never ever do.
Well, it is a full moon tonight, right? So it's like maybe.
I don't know what kind of chances they can take against UNLV, who's looked extremely strong here tonight. They look like they are ready for postseason play. Adame in goal. Fundamentally has been at the right place at the right time. They certainly know how to win the tournament, looking for the third in the last 4 seasons. Earlier this past week, they beat number 2 Seattle, 22 ranked Red Hawks. Air Force will be a tough task, coming in as the number 1 seed. Lopes will be there, as were the women in this first year of tournament eligibility, so congratulations on that accomplishment in the first year. They're hoping for at least a draw here tonight to improve their positioning in the tournament. Takata, Gonzalez, Malish, McLaughlin on him. Back out in front. Malish, I don't know how he does it. I really don't. Another shot. Breakdowns defensively for the Lopes. Fonzo trying to get it. Looking a bit fatigued. Partita up over the top. Timo Malish, man. He's worth the price of admission, that kid.
Yeah, he's definitely a talent. And you're seeing that he's somebody that has the abilities that could play at the next level. And how do you know that? It's someone that stands out from the rest. You can see just how skillful he is on the ball and what he can do, and a good understanding of where everyone else is. But for me, Danny Musovsky, how do you miss that? How do you miss that? You're at the 6. You know what's coming.
Right on his
That's
foot,
on your
too.
foot. It's just a swing and a miss. He's going to be frustrated. He knows that he should have – that should have been his second goal.
That would have been a Sports Center goal right there. That was right on his foot. Officials are conferring here. Not really sure. Michelle Simon giving the referee
an earful.
Yes.
Earful of what? I'm not sure.
Probably safe not to say. Sasaverovich, Herman. Marked there by Diaz. Herman's able to get it through, but kicked away by the Rebels. Throwing coming in.
I tell you, since Herman's been on, the team has looked much better.
Waldrop.
Waldrop, I think he's been excellent in the back. A few passes have been lacking, but overall, he's been a big plus for the side. And Alfonso on the left, I think right here, Alfonso has been a danger and has forced the back line, put a little bit more pressure on those back four.
Jackson slow to get up. Nicky Jackson for the Lopes, but he's back up on his feet. Drac goes down. Kicked off. Waldrep. Here's a chance. Knocked away by the Rebels. Waldrep back at it again. Been around the ball a lot. Keating. Far side. Afonso. Takata's over there to help Diaz. Diaz doing well defensively. Gonzalez chipped up. Malish. Ooh, he tried to get it to Musovsky, blocked there by McLaughlin, up for Afonso. Malish getting a hand on him.
Well, GCU's taking some risks, as we saw off of that last play with Malish running through and Musovsky just doing that little hesitation, that little hop, 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 waiting for the ball to come through. GCU's playing that high line almost at half field. And if they're smart, UNLV's going to understand it's not Musovsky that you want to hit off of that. It's the player coming from deep that's going to be the dangerous one.
Gonzalez on the run. Waiting for some teammates. Pushes back out. Takata, or Ing rather. Takata leaves it back for Gonzalez. Chipped up over the top. So Bennett Lehner coming in. Alex Ramirez for the Lopes. Spencer Jackson, Marquise Pitt coming back in for the Rebels. Malish is going to come out. Also Gonzalez for the Rebels.
It just feels like wholesale changes going on right here for GCU. Chavez is back into that midfield position along.
I don't know if I'd keep Danny Musovsky in here. Already went down hard earlier. Outcome of the game, I guess, from a positioning standpoint, they're trying to move past Seattle. They both have 18 points. Be an interesting call. Too far for Jackson. Herman has a little room. Marked by Chavez. Pushed back by Jackson. Partita. Musovsky offside. Send it over to Kate Longworth.
Well, Barry, I know where you'll be next weekend. It's a busy weekend when it comes to GCU athletics. Starting on Thursday, we will be broadcasting women's volleyball here on Your View. You can catch all of the action for all these games on either Cox Channel 4 or GCU.TV. We will watch the Lopes women's volleyball team as they try to close out the regular season on a high note, taking on New Mexico State. Then on Friday, it's GCU men's basketball against Florida A&M, and that's following up their big exhibition win that they had this week. And then on Sunday, Nicole Powell's Lopes basketball squad looks to be contenders in the WAC, and they will get things started off with a non-conference matchup on Sunday against Duke. Again, all these games on Your View, Cox Channel 4.
Thank you. Yeah, it'll be a busy week. 4 broadcasts in, I believe, 5 days. The GCU men's basketball team gets their regular season started. And Nicole Powell, the new head coach of women's basketball. Standout here locally. All-American at Stanford. And in the WNBA. And now here at GCU. Musovsky gets up over, pushes it back. Pollard quickly over to Sasaverovic. Far side. Ramirez tried to get it to Afonso, picked off by Diaz, and now the Rebels in control. Pushed back to Adame. Pace slowing down. Lopes try to mount another offensive threat here with the time remaining.
Pardon me. They've got to move the ball a bit quicker. As you said, the game just slowed down since the substitutions came on the field. They've got to try to, as a sub, you've got to try to make sure that you keep the pace up, that you give energy to the match. Because everything was still, even down a man, it still looked like GCU had the better of play. But now all of a sudden it's slowed down. UNLV took that time to settle down and get back into the proper defensive positions. And it seems to be working in their favor.
Herman tried to give it to Jackson, but it was behind him. Yeah, we saw that spark with Waldrop. We saw it with Damian Herman. Ramirez checked into the game. Got that ball up to Herman there. Bennett Laner. Musa, Morris, Damos.
That's a great ball going from one side of the field to the other. Any type of ball hit like that, you're not going to be able to pressure them defensively, especially when you're down a man.
Takata. Jackson takes it away. Pushes back to Afonso, as I mentioned. Musa, Morris, Damos, and also Alex Radia are waiting to come into the game for the Lopes. Ramirez, Afonso. High Partita, but kicked out by the Rebels. So Severovic, Keating, Muzovsky, he's in control. On McLaughlin. Knocked away with some support by the Lopes. Takata. Diaz. Partita with a move. Takata inching his way into the 18. Knocked down by Sasa Verovic just outside the box.
You see here, this is just a sense of frustration. You see that right arm just go out. Just take down Takata. No need. It is frustration that is starting to seep into the play at GCU. It gives UNLV a good spot for a set piece.
Jesus Partita, freshman midfielder. Just outside the 18. Official coming over to. Oh, a yellow card. I believe it's to Danny Mavzowski. He's had a propensity to have that called upon him. Partita, far side. Push back in, a rebound and a redirect, and a goal by the Rebels. Muzovsky again has the last word, his second goal of the evening.
Well, he's definitely given the eye to somebody.
Yep.
You know, after scoring that goal, and this is the most frustrating thing. Muzovsky, he just stays in that central area. He's always moving, and no one's really around him. And GCU can't clear the ball. And if you allow 2 or 3 headers inside your 18, you know what? They're going to find a way to put it on target.
Muzovsky, second goal of the evening. It appears that Coach Ryerson's going to take out Muzovsky.
And here comes the one header. Here comes the second header. And there's the third. You know, you got to do a better job of clearing that. I'm not sure how Pollard was on the positioning on that, but someone's got to be able to clear that header. That's 3 3 headers by your opponent inside your 18, and that's just not good enough.
So the 2-goal cushion once again. Coach Ryerson takes out his top scorer.
Yeah, well, I think Musovsky, I saw him going to the coach to give him the substitution signal. He's like, okay, I got my 2, I got my brace, so you can take me out now. That way he definitely knows he has the last word with whoever he was having words with.
Yes. Shook the referee's hand. Bennett Lehner. Ortida goes down hard. Svetanovic in for the Rebels with Zofsky coming out. Ortida back up on his feet. UNLV. Both of these teams advancing to postseason play next week at UNLV. Nice work by the Rebels coming in. Pollard with the save, came out, cut the angle off. Spencer Jackson making his way in with that attempt.
Now, one thing you have to remember, that GCU is playing down a man, so there's going to be a lot of space.
Back out. Takata can't get at it. Kicked out by the Lopes. Waldrop. Up over the top of Partita. Or Jesus just knocked around a little bit.
Here's a look at that run right through the heart. I think a little bit slow for Pollard to come out. He's got to be out a little bit quicker, but regardless, he comes up with the foot save, to keep this score line, to keep UNLV still within 2.
Fonzo over the top of everybody. Throw in coming in for UNLV. Another good crowd here at GCU Soccer Stadium. Closing out the regular season. 1,821 fans here. Havoc's on the platform. Great weather here in Phoenix. Fans seated along the berm.
This is great weather out here. I came in today, I was just like, this is pretty nice.
What's the temps in LA?
It's probably in the 60s.
Ooh,
the
chilly.
Little, yeah, mid to high 60s today.
That'll be all right.
Considering a couple weeks ago it was 100.
That's true, yeah. That first game there for the World Series was incredible. It's quite the drop in temps. Tyler Hughes in the game for the Lopes. His final regular season matchup. Tyler Hughes, the freshman midfielder from Bellingham, Washington. Part of the future of the Lopes here. First year of tournament eligibility. Is the city recovering after the Houston Astros disposed of the Dodgers? I saw you were sporting your LA cap. I hope I'm not pouring salt in any wounds.
No, it's LA. We recovered about an hour afterwards.
Yeah.
Recovered on the way to the cars at the exit.
Half the crowd probably left like a few innings to go.
Got to beat the traffic.
Yeah, exactly. Diaz. Svetanovic trying to get around McLaughlin. Unsuccessful. Pollard, left foot, booted up. Radia, Partita. Diaz now for UNLV. Fonzo. Radia. Waldrop. Near side. Bennett Lehner. Errant pass. Picked off by Pitt. Bertita. Waldrop. Picked off by UNLV on the run. Coming up on the play, Adam Uzovsky. He wants another chance at it. He had one in the opening half, point blank from a corner, but was saved by Pollard early on. Long run, but way off sides was Musa Morris Damos. Should be an interesting team to watch. Hosting the tournament next week. Getting some solid goaltending.
I think this is probably about the best that UNLV could ask for. They got they're getting a result here. It's something where they're allowed to rest some of their starters, to have them energized and ready to go as the tournament begins. It's building confidence throughout. Now you're starting to make some substitutions where you allow some other players to get some minutes so that they can just be ready in case they're called upon in the tournament. That's a quality player that we just saw there, Jesus Partida.
Yep.
I like the way he plays when he gets the ball. He picks up the ball in the midfield, and you can see with his first 3 or 4 steps are just so quick, and he can just go by a player.
Near side, pushed up. Pushed up by the Lopes. Damos. Near side. Bennett Lehner. Headed out by Waldrop with a big. Oh! Just up over the top. Why not just kick it? Couldn't find any openings. And this player is going to be fun to watch now that he's healthy.
Yeah, I like this. He sees where it just lays up perfectly for him, and that's one of those things of just the recognition. You see the ball drops in right where you'd like it to, and he says, why not? I'm going to have a go. Thinks that he can just have this one dip right over Adame, but it's just a little bit too much. It goes over the crossbar as well.
Everything will be figured out here after the conclusion of all the games in the regular season, but it would appear right now that GCU will be taking on Seattle Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. in Las Vegas, the WAC tournament. But officially, we will wait to see when the WAC comes out with their official pairings. Looks like UNLV will be in action at 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Fonzo. Great D. Takata off of him. Quick throw in this time. Alfonso. Throw in for the Lopes. Takata's just been a pest over there for Alfonso. Gonna get away from him. Shelta Takata picks it up, but out. Radia. The day. Chipped up in the 18. at 1 p.m. right here on this same pitch. The WAC Women's Tournament Championship. Utah Valley against Seattle. Great youth women's soccer here. Girls here in the Valley want to come out and see a great match. Championship matchup. 1 o'clock right here at the stadium. Seattle playing really well. Utah Valley knocked off the Lopes 1-0 to advance as well. Waldrop, near side. Allen moving into the inside. McLaughlin there. Allen still in possession, but coming in and scoring. Look who's there is Marquise Pitt. Just came in for support, and the Lopes couldn't create any obstacles for Allen. Allen just was able to retain the ball.
Well, look at the space. Just too much space, you know, getting through. Then you see finally the pressure comes in, but there, no one gets around him. And then I'm of the belief when you have 3 defenders, someone's got to get into him. Yeah. Someone's got to be able to touch him. There's the little touch there, but watch now. Everyone's dropping off. There's a couple yards. You have 2 defenders that are still 2-3 yards back, and then the ball falls right to the feet of Pitt. Just like you said, just happening to join in support. Yeah. Pops down right in front of him and says, hey, why not? Beautiful strike, puts it in the net. It just gives UNLV that extra goal to just sign this game off.
Yeah, Day should have probably flown in there, and Bennett Lehner came in late. McLaughlin moving up. Trying to push down a man. So Johnson got 2 yellow cards. And knocked out by the Rebels. After Jordan Chavez gets knocked down. Waning moments of this game with UNLV victorious over the Lopes. Both teams will be advancing to postseason play.
Well, the big issue is going to be for the Lopes is how do you put this game out of your mind and prepare and be ready for the tournament. This is not one that the Lopes players want to remember.
No.
You got to try to build off of this and tell yourselves that this isn't going to happen again, that this isn't going to happen in the tournament, and that you're going to put this way behind and step up your game all the way around. And I think for Coach Hyman, he's probably, the lineup that started tonight will probably not be the same that you see at the tournament.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Will Waldrop maybe see some time? Will Damian Herman? Enrique Adame. Looking sharp here in goal for Las Vegas. And the Lopes dropped their season finale 4-1 to UNLV. Danny Mozovsky leading the way with a couple of goals for the Rebels. But both teams once again advancing to postseason play next week back in Las Vegas. So it was the pressure from Timo Melish and Muszowski up front that just couldn't be countered by Nicky Jackson early on, and then Damian Herman came in off the bench. Then they were down a man, as I mentioned, with Johnson. Got his second yellow card. Danny Muszowski, again, leading the way.
Yeah, Muszowski was the player that, got that first goal. Just his movement inside the box, extremely dangerous. You can see there was quite a bit of opportunities for Muszowski to get on the board. He ended up with the brace, but he could have had 3, possibly 4, just his movement inside the 18 and how dangerous a player that he is. And here he is off of getting his second off of a set piece.
Instinctively in the right place at the right time. Coach Ryerson has to feel good about his team. Seem to be hitting on all cylinders. They're getting great goaltending and, of course, getting some goal scoring by that young man, Danny Muszowski. Let's send it down to the field. Kate Longworth.
All right, thank you. Well, Coach, I know you would like the scoreboard to read differently, but still a valiant effort by your group all season long, really culminating in this final home game.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we came out in the second half and really put some pressure on them. We forced them to do some things they didn't want to do. And then the game obviously changed when we lost a man, and that made it real tough for us. But yeah, the boys played hard for us all year.
And for you, Nicky, I'm sure you're still absorbing the moment, and I want you to be able to take it in with your teammates. But what is it like for you as you finish off the regular season with your final home game of your career here in a Lopes uniform?
It's crazy. These 4 years have been amazing, and never thought the day would come will it be my last home game here. But no doubt it was an amazing season here. I enjoyed every moment of it, and I'm trying to soak it in as it comes. I love it so far, though.
And congratulations, you scored your 40th goal of your career tonight. And as you guys finish off this regular home season and advance now to the WAC tournament, congratulations. What's it like for you as you've waited for this time for this team to be NCAA tournament eligible?
It's crazy. I've been here all 4 years now, and almost throughout the whole transition. And being able to, my last year, be able to make it to the tournament just gives us that much motivation to go into the tournament and do as well as possible. So I'm super excited, and I can't wait to get there.
And obviously there's still more to be played, but when you look back tonight on senior night, the 5 guys along with Nicky who played their final home game, what stands out to you with this group of gentlemen?
You know what, it says a lot about Grand Canyon University. These guys are now getting ready to be alumni, and I know when they think back and reflect to their memories of their time in college, they've seen so many things happen here. They've seen a team that has become better. They've seen a beautiful facility and the support that we have. As I said to them today, they'll have these memories for life.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the best of luck Wednesday night as you head to Las Vegas for the tournament. And Nicky, it's been a pleasure covering you. Congratulations, and keep it going. Keep this season going.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go back upstairs to you guys.
All right, Kate. Thanks to Shellis Hyman and Nicky Jackson. They'll be back at it Wednesday in Las Vegas for the Western Athletic Conference Tournament. Congratulations to this team in their first year of eligibility. Stay with us. We'll be back to wrap things up from GCU Stadium. UNLV wins it 4-1 over the Lopes.
I'm Bethany. I'm a junior at GCU, studying Christian studies with a minor in psychology. Really what made me fall in love with GCU was the ministry aspect that they have here. I love all of the different community service opportunities that there are here. Students are making a huge impact on the Valley just through painting the Valley purple. It really means a lot to people in Phoenix to hear that somebody's from GCU. It almost gives you like credentials because they know that you're a good kid and that you're gonna go far. I have the privilege of bringing 7th and 8th grade students onto campus every week. I get to present to them a college readiness program. It honestly makes a huge difference in so many of their lives. I also am part of a mentorship program, so I am a mentor for a girl here in Phoenix. I get to walk her through life just like people are walking me through life. I definitely think GCU is preparing me for my future and teaching students and being a difference maker in the lives of other people.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
I am Laura Lozoya,
and I am majoring in biology with an emphasis in pre-med at Grand Canyon University. The dorm life at GCU definitely helped me build relationships, and I've made great friends on this campus. The quality education here is great. You're testing your limits, but you're going beyond them. It all comes together. The sciences, the ethics, and just everything. It's a beautiful thing.
Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university. Visit gcu.edu.
Look at final stats here at GCU Stadium after the Rebels defeat the Lopes 4-1. 14 shots for Grand Canyon, 19 by UNLV, 7-5. The Rebels in the margin on shots on goal. So you look at the saves, the fouls, 15 for GCU. They got the 2 yellow cards for Johnson and knocked him out and put them man down. And Danny Muzovsky with 2 goals tonight on 4 shots. Nicky Jackson gets his 40th goal of his career. The lone goal for the Lopes, who finished 7-10-1. Both teams advancing to the Western Athletic Conference tournament next week in Las Vegas. This game, well, it was decided probably early on. A lot of offensive threats. Just couldn't put the pressure on the Lopes offensively.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to is UNLV just had better of the play, and their chances just seemed so much more dangerous. It was almost half chances for the Lopes, and they just couldn't get around the ball in the midfield or in that attacking third.
Let's take a look at our player of the game. It is Teemu Melish. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, Melish was something else. I mean, everything really started with him, and even the first goal was his ability to get the ball out on that right flank and then get a decent cross in to Musovsky to finish it off. And then you see he created some chances for himself, and he was continuously on the ball, just so tactically sound of where he needed to be. He gets a goal himself for the night and also the assist, but just how many chances did he create time after time? I think he ended up with a couple of assists on the night and a goal, and that's our MVP.
Teemu Melish, Danny Muzovsky, the Rebels under head coach Ryerson, they look pretty strong. They're getting set to host the tournament, looking to win their 3rd in their last 4 years.
No, this is how you want to do it. I mean, if this is where you're going into the tournament, you know you're going to be at home. To have the last game of the season, to have this kind of victory, you know, you're going to be pretty happy with yourselves, and this is something that they can build off upon and just go, hey, look at all these different things that we did right. Let's continue upon that path and get better.
And there's some questions now for the Lopes. What's their starting lineup going to be? The subs came in and provided some spark. Waldrop coming in, Damian Herman coming in. That provided a little bit of spark. Pollard, I think, has got to be a little bit sharper, too.
Yeah, well, regardless of the score, that's where you always have to take the positives and what can you build upon. And there were some substitutes that came in and really lifted the level of the game, even considering that they were down a man. They were still playing well and taking it to this UNLV side.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for year 2 of coming here to Grand Canyon University, Kobe, and enjoying GCU soccer.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Our thanks to Kobe Jones and Kate Longworth. Stay with us. Coming up, we'll have continuing coverage of women's volleyball here on Your View. Head coach Tim Nolan and the Lopes women's volleyball team hoping to close out the regular season on a high note as they take on WAC leaders New Mexico State. The Lopes still have a chance to get into the tournament, but need to win at least 2 of their final 3 matches. Come out and support the Lopes next Thursday night at the arena. If you can't get on campus, be sure to watch all the action on Your View, Cox Channel 4, or online at gcu.tv. That'll do it from here at GCU Stadium, where tonight the Lopes lose to the Rebels 4-1. Please join us again Thursday night for GCU women's volleyball against New Mexico State. For Kate Longworth, Scott, Kobe Jones, and our entire crew, I am wishing you a wonderful evening.